Hey YouTube, this is the Factor here at the Eagle's Nest. We are continuing the G40 Pickup game. We're in the middle of turn 4. Currently it is the start of the Chinese turn 4. They bought 5 infantry. We're only going in on 2 attacks here. We're going on to the walk-in attack. Had an infantry in all 3 of these and brought them all together here. Then over here we brought the infantry from here and the plane from Burma and put that in against the 3 Japanese tanks. Those are the only 2 attacks they're going in on. I will show you what happens with the rolls when we come back. All right, we're here with the turn 4 summary of China. It did not go well for the Chinese. They took the free walk-on, of course, but when in the battle for Kwangtung, they lost everything, including the airplane. The Japanese hit 5 out of 6 times, and we didn't hit once. So you know, it does happen with dice games. So we put all the infantry, like I said, in Yunnan there, and we'll go ahead and see what happens with the British turn right after this one. All right, it's the beginning of turn 4 with the UK. UK Europe bought 3 tanks and a fighter, and UK Pacific bought a minor factory. The only attack we're going in on this turn is we're taking our armada from the English Channel here and going in on the attack on Germany. With only 6 infantry, so it's going to be pretty hairy. Probably won't work out, but if I can take out a good chunk of that stuff, great, I guess. So the rest of the attacks are going to be, or the rest of the movement is going to be non-combat. So once this gets rolled, all that non-combat is done, I'll come back and show you what happened. All right, we're here with the turn summary of the UK. Their attack went pretty bad. He decided to scramble, which caused a sea battle. So I guess I took out a transport, but he only took 1 hit on a battleship, and I took out his fighter and 2 tactical bombers. And then on the amphibious assault that ensued, then only took out one anti-aircraft artillery with my 6 infantry. So I did not really think that was going to go that well anyway, but I was just kind of hoping on the bombardment shots. But he scrambled and kind of pretty much just negated those. So then the rest of the non-combat was I put units from Quebec and finally got them over here to England. And then over down here, I moved the tank from British Somaliland over into Ethiopia, moved the infantry from Egypt to Alexandria, helped the defense on the front there. And then over here, I took all the infantry and the anti-aircraft artillery from Yunnan and moved them down in French Indochina and flew the planes from Sumatra there. And you can tell I also put a minor industrial complex in the French Indochina, moved all the units up front here, as well as moved the rest of the units from down here into Yunnan. And as far as my placements over on this side of the board here, I put 3 tanks into Normandy, which is why this card got pulled out, because there's starting to be a lot of things there. And then I put 1 fighter into England, and then also repaired the damage from the factory. So it's got a fully functional factory now, and all this stuff is now over right by Germany. So it's going to be Italians' turn next. We'll see what they're going to do. We're at the beginning of turn 4 with the Italians. They bought 2 transports. They are only going to do non-combat moves, so I'll just pan out and give you a shot of kind of what it looks like as of right now with the Italians. They're all pretty much in this one frame here. So I'll show you what they do and where they place the transports. Right, we're here at the turn 4 summary of the Italians. Like I said before, they did all non-combat moves. So they moved everything they had besides the anti-aircraft artillery from northern Italy, moved it into southern France. And that's represented by this card here. And they also moved some of the fighters from Tobruk to southern France as well. Moved the tank back from Tobruk to Libya, and moved the bomber from Tobruk to southern Italy. Moved the infantry from southern Italy up to northern Italy, and then put the 2 transports into Sea Zone 95. So they're basically just getting ready for trying to repel the Normandy invasion, basically. But since there's no Americans in sight to come in on them right now, they can kind of do what they want right there currently. So next is coming up is going to be France and Anzac's turn, and like normal, I'm going to kind of mash those together. So I'll show you what they do in just a bit. All right, we're at the beginning of turn 4 of Anzac in France. Anzac is going to buy a battleship and a transport. And the only battle between the two countries we got going on is the fighters from Java are going to go ahead and attack the one unit there in Malaya. So then they're going to do the rest. They're going to do that. They're going to do the rest of the non-combat moves for both of them. Then I'll show you what happens after this. Right, we're here at the end of turn 4 with Anzac and France. The only battle that happened was the fighters took out the infantry in Malaya. They did, however, lose a fighter though. And then then again the fighters landed back into Shan State here. We picked up the dude from New Zealand finally and brought an artillery from New South Wales up into Queensland, put my little fleet down there, placed the transport and the battleship down into Sea Zone 62. And then we, over here, just walked the French guy from Anglo-Egypt, Sudan into Egypt. And then we moved the French cruiser from the English Channel over to support the two transports over there, just to make sure he didn't think of doing something crazy with them. So that is the end of the round here. It went a lot better for the Axis than I would have hoped on this last chunk of this turn. But again, that's kind of is what it is. Just now, just trying to mitigate the losses. Of course, I think we're still doing absolutely fine, but some of these battles would have been a lot better to actually get done the way I wanted them to happen. But again, it is a dice game, and that does happen. So we'll come back to you once we do another turn. All right, we're at the beginning of turn 5 of Germany. We decided to go ahead and do Germany's turn right away since he knew what he wanted to do. So we typically stop at the end of the France and Anzac turn, but we decided to go ahead and do this one too. So he bought 14 infantry, 2 tanks, and a destroyer. And he took all of his available planes into that American fleet there. We kind of have it somewhat battle boarded, because the reason why we didn't battle board it was because he went into Bryansk with everything he pretty much had in Russia, and that's battle board because it's a pretty big battle. And then he went through Ukraine and is going to take that. So those are his attacks, and we'll come back when the dice are done. Here with the turn summary for Germany, turn 5. They went in here to Bryansk and they took it, but they lost quite a bit. Obviously, they took Ukraine was the walk-on. All the other battles was the sea battle here. Went really well for him. I only took out 1 air unit. And then he non-combated some guys into France. Moved a bunch of guys from Germany to Western Germany, since he corralled me in there by putting the destroyer in Sea Zone 112 so I can get back to England. So I'm going to have to stop there. So he kind of corralled me a little bit. So he took the initiative he had, moved a bunch of units up front. And he just basically put all of his units into Western Germany he could, and then put the rest into Germany and put a couple tanks up here. So he just kind of trying to re-fortify the front over here. And we'll come back with the Russians' turn in just a minute. All right, here we're turn 5 of the Russians. For their purchase, they bought 5 tanks. They went into Bryansk, took everything from Smolensk and some stuff from Russia, and that's all battle boarded right here. That's their attack they did over here into Russia, or in the Russian territories, and over here they took a guy up here and all the guys from this territory into here. And those are all just both walk-ons. So the only rolling battle we have is the one in Bryansk. So we'll roll it out. And I guess the things I forgot to mention that was in Africa. They took Tobruk, and they took Italian Somaliland, and they're going to just blitz right back in Ethiopia. So those, again, up there is the only rolling attack. What we're going to do is we're going to do that. We'll be back once the dice are done getting rolled. We're at the end of turn 5 for the Soviet Union. They obviously, all the free ones like Tobruk and Italian Somaliland they got. All the ones up here in northern Russia. They obviously got all those. The attack in Bryansk went really well. I did a one turn sweep there, so I only lost a few infantry. I put these 6 tanks into Russia and just moved the guns from right here down into here. Moved the guys around Mongolia and just came over here. So they're kind of poised to start doing some stuff here on the coast unless the Japanese can do something to them. So other than that, we got quite a presence in Africa that don't normally see too much, just to kind of get some extra money. And then it'll be turn 5 of Japan's, but we're going to do that on another night here. So this is where we're going to be done tonight. Kind of an overview. I think I did not see the scramble going into Germany, so that went pretty poorly on my part. And the fact that he locked me into up there by Germany is smart, so I can't get back and do anything. So it went, in my opinion, it went poorly for the Allies in that sense over here by Germany. But the Russian front's looking really good, so I guess that's something to smile about. And not to mention down here is looking all right. So this is where we're going to sign off tonight here, and we'll pick it up whenever we get a chance to with the turn 5 moves of Japan.